Hey guys, it's me, Tom Cook from Power Mindset Limited, and this week I'm going to be showing you how to develop more confidence. Look, how many of you want to have more confidence? What could you do if you had more confidence in your life? What are the tasks? What are the actions? What are the goals that you could go after if your level of confidence was raised up? What is it that you could achieve? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how, so let's jump straight into it. So when you look in the mirror, who do you see? Who do you see as a person? Do you see somebody that you don't particularly like the look of? Somebody that you want to say horrible things about? Somebody who you don't feel is that pretty? Or do you see somebody who is incredibly powerful, has a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in themselves? For many people with low confidence and low self-esteem, we feel very negative things about ourselves when we look in the mirror, when we see ourselves. The way we treat and talk about ourselves is in a very negative way. Now, the truth of this isn't because that's who you are as a person, it's just because of what society, the external environment, has led you to believe. Look, government, school teachers, even our friends, our parents, over time, over our lives as we're growing up, we build up these self-limiting beliefs, not because of our own doing, but because of things that have been said to us. Have you ever been in a situation where maybe you're at school and you put your hand up to answer a question, you answered the question, but maybe you got it wrong. Maybe you got it wrong. In that instance, you just didn't have the right answer. And you were made to feel as though you were a bit of an idiot. You were made to feel like you were a bit stupid and that there was something wrong with you for not getting the right answer. And what happens is you store this memory. You remember this for the rest of your life and you begin to believe that you are maybe a bit of an idiot. That maybe you're not so clever because that one time, just one occasion, you were an innocent child, you got the question wrong. So we now carry that one incident with us through the rest of our life, believing that we are not good enough. We are not good enough to give the right answers. We are not good enough to do the right things. But this is not the truth. When I talk about knowing who you are as a person, you have to get rid of all these self-limiting beliefs. They're like layers of an onion, and you have to peel them back. You have to get rid of them one by one. You have to work your way through them because they are simply not true. It is just conditioning from our parents, society, government, school teachers, and friends. These beliefs, these self-limiting beliefs, are not you. I read a great book called The Untethered Soul, written by a guy called Michael A. Singer. And he said, you are not your thoughts. You are merely the one listening to your thoughts. Think about that for a moment. Those thoughts that are coming into your head, be positive or negative, they're not you, they are thoughts. So don't listen to the negative thoughts when they come in, because it's not the truth. It's just a thought and it's not who you are as a person. Look, as soon as you start understanding who you are, as soon as you start learning and getting clarity on who you are as a person, you are going to raise your confidence levels up to a new level. With that confidence, you're going to be able to do new, amazing things. So know who you are. Hey, this is something that very few people can actually do. And those very few people are the ones who are the most successful. They achieve the most. And the one thing that they take is a lot of responsibility. They take a lot of responsibility. And this scares people. This word scares people because they feel by taking responsibility, they have to take the blame for something going wrong. If you're there's this belief that if you're responsible for something, it's your fault, you're the person to blame, you're the wrongdoer, and you're the one who's out of line. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. Now, those people who aren't successful, who don't achieve a lot, who really struggle, who really have life working against them, what do? Well, first off, they're going to blame other people. How many people do you know that blame somebody else or something else for things going wrong in their life? It's never their fault. It's always somebody else's. Oh, they didn't do that for me and they were supposed to do this and they didn't see it through. Nothing's ever their fault. It's always to do with somebody else or the weather, There's always somebody else or something to lay blame on. They also justify. They give reason why the results aren't how they want it. They justify their results. They're always thinking of a reason behind something not working. And lastly, they also use excuses. They make up excuses for why this didn't happen, or why, I was here and I wasn't there and I forgot to do this. So-and-so came round so I couldn't complete what you asked me to. There's a whole host of excuses out there that people use. Now, before they get to any level of taking any responsibility in their life, before they do that, if they're not prepared to take any responsibility, what happens is they quit. Before they're blaming, they're justifying, they're using excuses, but they go to take responsibility, that's too much for them to handle, and they quit. Look, if you want to raise your confidence up, you have to take responsibility. Something may not have been your fault. I get that. Things happen in life that are out of our control. It's not something that we can deal with. However, we can take responsibility. We can be responsible for the way that we behave after that situation happening. Once it becomes our mess, whether it's our fault, whether it's in our control or out of our control, if it's our mess, it's our job to clean up as a person. As soon as you're able to do this, as soon as you're able to go, look, this wasn't my fault, but this is now my mess and I'm going to do something about it, then it's very, very empowering. With that empowering, your confidence levels are going to rise up to where you need them to be. You're going to be more motivated. You're going to be more inspired to do something about it. You're going to feel bigger. You're going to feel stronger to go and get the result that you want. Look, the government are going to do things sometimes. The weather, there are so many external factors which aren't always going to go your way. But take responsibility for the impact that it has on your life. Maybe you've been conned out of a lot of money before. Maybe it's left your finances in a bit of a mess. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know what the excuses are, and I don't know who is to blame. However, what I do know is it's down for you to solve the problem. It's your mess. As soon as you take responsibility, you're going to see some incredible things happen in your life. Your life is going to go to a new level of empowerment. You're going to feel a lot more confident. So take more responsibility. How many of you have ever heard of a guy called Jim Rohn? Jim Rohn was the mentor to Tony Robbins, and he has one of my favorite quotes. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the top 5 people that you spend the most time with." Now, if you hang around with 5 other drug dealers, you will be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 other broke people, you will be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 people who really care for their body, they care for their health, their diets, the amount of exercise they are doing, you will be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 other millionaires, you will be the 6th. Look, if you want to raise your levels of confidence, you need to start hanging around with people who are going to lift you up rather than bring you down. Through their behaviors, you're going to start picking that up. The way they behave, the way they act and speak, you're going to start learning from that. And naturally, your subconscious is going to start making you implement those same levels of actions, the same way of communicating, that same way of behaving into your own life. So choose your friends wisely. Choose the group that you hang around with very wisely. Don't let people into your life who aren't going to get you anywhere, who are going to hold you back. They're going to hold you down. They don't want to see you grow and develop as a person. They keep you on a very low level because they don't want to go to the next level. However, that's not down to them to decide. So be with people who are going to bring you up. They're going to support you. They're going to encourage you to be a better person. Don't hang around with those people who are going to discourage you from growing. In fact, just look at your circle of friends now. Who is it that you're spending the most time with? And what is the way that they are behaving? How do they act around you? Do they laugh at you? Do they take the mick out of you? Did they say nasty things about you? Banter, as they call it. But sometimes that laugh and that joking around, it can really be a mask, and it can really hurt our feelings, and it can really break down our confidence. So get with the people who are going to raise you up and take you to a new level. So fourth on the list for raising our levels of confidence, the fourth thing you can do is really get clear on exactly what it is you want in life. Because truthfully, for many of us, we don't really know. You don't have a clue what it is that you're really here for in life, what it is that you really want to be doing. And that's okay, because it's not taught to us in society. It's not taught to think this way. In fact, we just go along with the flow. You go to school, you get good grades, you go to college or university, and then you get a job. And then once you've got a job, you start a family, you buy a house. In society, there is this natural flow and this natural order of the way things should work and should happen. But, as humans, we don't always gel into that mold. A lot of us deep down, that's not what we want at all. But we just go along with it because we think that is what we want. Because that is what we're led to believe it's what we want. So if you want to have new levels of confidence, if you want to raise your confidence game up, know exactly what it is you want. And why is that so important? Because when you get clarity, when you get unwavering clarity on exactly what it is that you want to do in life, you will be able to break through your fears. So right now you may encounter a fear around something. And what's stopping you going through that fear is that you don't even know if you need to go through it. You don't know if you need to go through to the other side of that fear. But when you're clear, when you have absolute clarity on what it is that you want to be doing, any fear that you come up against that point, which is stopping you and as an obstacle, you break through it. Why? Because in that moment, this fear is here, but I have to get through to the other side. It's my purpose, it's what I'm here for, it's my mission. This is exactly what I want. And so when you feel that way, it's empowering. With that empowerment, with that clarity, you're able to break through the fear. So if you want to raise your confidence up, know what you want. Get clear. Get a pen, get a piece of paper out. Write it down. Don't be afraid or limit yourself based on what society wants you to do. Because the order of society and the flow that society goes in isn't the way that you want to go in. Trust me. How many of you have ever heard of the expression, life starts on the other side of your comfort zone? Life begins where your comfort zone ends. To really experience life, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. How many of you have ever heard of an expression like this before? Yes, they're very cliche sayings, but they are true. If you want more out of life, if you want to live a more fulfilling life, you're going to have to start doing things that scare you. But it's okay to feel fear. Don't think yourself any less as a person because you're afraid of something. It's perfectly natural. It's a human emotion. It's fine to feel that. But what I want you to do is have more courage. Be willing to say, look, I have this fear. I'm scared of this fear. Whatever it is, this scares me, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to push through anyway, because what I want, exactly what I want, lies on the other side of that fear. Go out there with the attitude of being brave enough to go and get what you want. When you can do that, you are going to experience some incredible things. You are going to empower yourself, because many people get confused with, they want more confidence, they want to have more confidence so they can do more. But really the truth is, confidence is going to come when you've completed something that you're scared of. Confidence doesn't come before the event, confidence comes after the event. You do something that scares you, you don't have the confidence at that point, otherwise you wouldn't be feeling fear so much. How many of you have ever been in a situation like this where you had your sights set on something, you felt the fear, the clammy hands, the dry mouth, your heart racing, and you broke through it, you did it anyway. And then immediately you felt like you could do it again. Perhaps it was like a bungee jump or a skydive, whatever it was. And as soon as you've done it, you were like, That's it. I'm doing it again. I can do it again. Why? Because you had more confidence. You had been through the experience. You knew what that experience was like. You knew how it felt. And you actually found out that it felt really bloody good as well. So have the courage, have the bravery to push through your fears. When you get to that point, when you get through your fear, you're gonna then have confidence, because you can look back and you go, look, I've done this before. I have the evidence, I have the visual evidence. I remember, I have the memory of myself doing this, whatever action it was. You're gonna feel naturally more confident. You're gonna be able to take on more fear. With that, being able to take on more fear, you're gonna be able to do bigger things. You're going to be able to do scarier things. With that, you're going to achieve more confidence as a person. So naturally, you go looking for more confidence, but what people forget is that they're going to have to start by breaking through their fears anyway to get that confidence. Once you've done it, you're flying. You've built momentum. You've built your natural confidence. You have the evidence that you've done it and you can do it. So look, if you want more confidence, go out there, break through your fears, take responsibility, choose your friends wisely, and above all, know who you are as a person. All the best. Speak to you very soon.